All right, so for today's project, we're going to be trying to mount this rack. Um, it's a S2 rack. Going to be mounting that and cargo crate on Super73. And that's a S1. Um, this does not line up. It's not compatible. Um, the frame of the bike is a lot more narrow than this here, so picked up some brackets, not brackets, I'm sorry, picked up some spacers. So I'm thinking I'll be able to make it work. I think this spacer here will probably be the one I end up going with, but definitely gonna have to rig it up to get it to work. So that's what we're gonna be starting on. So reason we're gonna be installing that cargo crate is because my son started pressure washing garbage cans in the area, so he's trying to get like a mobile setup so he can take a pressure washer. So with his money he bought pressure washer over here, and then he was carrying everything in that backpack there, so he's not gonna be able to carry this obviously while he's riding, so he was trying to carry some cordless pressure washer with him, but decided to go with this. So he is gonna need to get this around, so that's why we went with the crate. We found the crate and rack on eBay. We got it for a really good price. So shout out to the guy who I got it from. He was an awesome seller. He gave me a bunch of extras for Super73 S2. He had gotten a different model and said he didn't have any need for those parts. So I'm gonna start by removing this here, and then we'll start trying to mount the rack. I do think I'm gonna end up having to drill into the back half here of the frame to get the rack mounted. So let's go. The fender's about to drop. Not the fender. Alright, there's that. Here is, trying to get this up close, installation instructions. Let's see if you guys can see that. Is it gonna focus? Might take a second for it. All right, so gonna mount this first. All right, so we're mounting everything pretty loosely, just so we can still maneuver into place once we're figuring out where the rack's gonna sit, and then we'll mark where we're gonna drill along here. Don't know how to follow directions, obviously. So stanchion is supposed to be on the inside of the frame. So we're gonna flip this thing the other direction. So got those mounted. So now what we're gonna do is I'm gonna try to mock this up and see how it would sit. So put a bolt where it lines there. Get another one here. And then this will give us a guide of where our holes are going to get drilled in the frame. So it's just loosely in. You can see right here. Then, so basically we're going to need to mark and drill right here. So it's only going to get that mounting point. There's another slot in the front, but as you can see on the S1 frame, it's not going to line up with anything there. So we're just going to be using the back mounting location. So now we got it mocked up. I'm going to mark it in place, and then we're going to mark it on the frame where we're going to drill, and then mount that thing. Only funky thing is there's a zip tie right there. See it? I'm gonna probably cut that and drop that cable just so I don't hit it with the drill bit once I'm drilling the bike. All right, there's gonna be the mounting point into the frame. I gotta bore the hole out a little more. The screw I have isn't gonna fit, so take care of that and then jump to the other side. It worked. So there's that. Looks like I'm clear on this side here, so I can zip tie this back up once everything's done. And what I'm talking about is the cable right here. Not sure if, kind of dark right there, but that's what I'm talking about. I brought the bike to rest it against the column over here because I didn't want it leaning on the kickstand. make sure you pick up all metal shavings, and especially if it's a area where kids are around, or if you work out or walk barefoot in. Don't want freaking metal shavings going in your skin. Alright, gonna move it back over and then finish mounting it up, and then we'll tighten everything up after that. Just thought of something that might be helpful, anyone looking to tackle this project, and that was just measuring from the frame to give you guys an idea of, so you don't have to mock it up like I did. I'll get the wreck out of the way, show you guys a measurement. So it was right at around 3 11/16 measuring from here. So, and then just dead center, as close as you can get it to the middle. So hopefully that helps anyone that tries this. And now mounting everything up, and then we'll get the cargo crate on. Oh, that sucked. Dropped the washer. And then we're gonna put this in between. It's a little spacer that came with it. We'll be putting this on the underside here to close up some of the gap, because if you look from up here, you can see a little bit of a gap right there. So the spacer is to help solve for that. There's a spacer on the other side of it. So that's what we're putting on right now. So now you can see the bolt in there. Here's how it's sitting with the spacer in there now. And then we'll put a nut on the underside. I wonder if I can even get the camera in there so you guys can take a look. That's the underside. I can't see what you're seeing. Hopefully it's a pretty decent shot. And then we're gonna put a lock nut on this side here. Also, another thing to note, this was the longest factory bolt that came with the kit. It's an Allen key, so went to Ace Hardware and wanted to use a longer bolt, just because I was worried about it not being long enough to go through that bracket that I was showing you guys and through the frame. So this is a Phillips, and it is 2 inches. Then I picked up nylon lock nut as well to go with it. There it is, all mounted, ready to roll. So tightened everything up. You can see there's the nylon lock nut, the bolt coming through on that side. Everything else has been tightened. Gonna zip tie this, the bolt. See if we can go from the other angle. The bolt is pretty nearby where that mounting bracket is, right? So here's the bracket here, and then the nut's right here, so it's kind of close there. But now that that's done, we'll mount the cargo crate, call it good. Here's cargo net. And then figure out how we're gonna mount this. I believe we're gonna mount it this way. It's gonna be long with it. So get this put on. This is with the cargo rack installed. There's 4 bolts and what do I got? 8 washers. So put a bolt washer through here on each one, and then gonna come to the underside like so. You guys can't even see that. God dang it, it's too dark. Let me try to shine some light. Can't even see it. You get the idea. So yeah, gonna put a washer on this side and the lock nuts, and then screw them down, and we're done. Very neat. And then we'll throw all his pressure washing stuff in here. All right, she's all done. All that's left is I'm gonna hit it with the leaf blower and then just clean out the garage just in case there's any other shavings on the ground I need to get rid of. Wind up his cord on pressure washer and then get this stuff off my garage floor so he can go to work on this thing. And if not, I can probably hold a 30 rack of beer in this bad boy. Thanks for watching. Let me know if you have any questions.